So this is not 100% universal. Most things aren't. Almost everything is not actually universal. So I want to say that in the beginning, but the majority of the time, according to research and statistics, having a sense of pride in your environment helps you have more confidence and pride in yourself. Having less clutter around you helps you to declutter mentally and emotionally. There is something to be said for trying to not live in a pigsty, and people who are constantly surrounded by a ton of items are more easily distracted, according to research. People who live in a less hygienic space feel less safe, according to research. So cleaning and maintaining your environment, keeping your room clean, as it were, is actually really healthy as a habit for you to have, for the most part. I have met a couple of people that when things are too clean or sterile, it actually makes them incredibly distressed. But that's like 2 people out of my entire life. And I've met a lot of people. So while it can be true that for some people the trash piles actually help them, the majority of people, the majority of the time, according to data and research, that's not the case. The majority of people genuinely need a safe and comfortable environment to come back to. After you've been out in the chaotic world, you've been dealing with people all up and down, coming back to a little cozy environment where there's not the worry about a ton of germs and a ton of noise and a ton of chaos, when you don't have junk everywhere and you can just settle in and be comfortable in your little haven. That's actually a really important and good thing. Create a habit of at least once a week cleaning up after yourself, because you're trying to help yourself. Don't think of it as chores. Don't think of it as something that you are forced to do or that someone's making you do. Think of it as you're trying to help yourself. You want the counter not to be covered in crap because you want your brain not to be filled with a bunch of junk. Your brain is like a cup of water and someone poured some dirt into the water. It's important to have times where you can just sit and be okay and the dirt settle to the bottom. All the sediment go to the bottom and the water clear. Once the water becomes clear in your mind, it is so much easier to think, to be okay, to feel safe. And some of that dirt could be clutter, some of it could be noise, some of it could just be stress, because life's stressful, but you need to let the water clear in that cup. Because how are you going to pour the water from that cup into anything and get something done effectively when you're just pouring out muddy water? Let the sediment get to the bottom. Let it settle down. People talk about settling like it's a bad thing. Oh, I don't want to settle for them, or oh, I'm not going to settle for less than I deserve, or whatever. Settling is a good thing. Settling can be a very important and good thing. I will say in relationships, you probably don't want to settle for someone who's basically the opposite of what you are looking for, but for the majority of part, there is something to be said for feeling settled, for being able to actually come to contentment. And it's extremely difficult to do that when your environment is chaotic. It's very hard to get to that point of being settled when you are in distress, even when you are in a place that's supposed to be your sanctuary. Facilitate the creation of that sanctum. Maybe you live with other people. You can't control that the whole place is a mess. There's got to be your desk or your bed or wherever you can try to create some sort of safer, more organized, predictable space, because routines are like safety blankets. They really can add to your comfort levels. There's better sleep. There's better restful times. When you get those moments of rest, it's a lot easier to. When there's not a whole bunch of stuff around you constantly distracting you and reminding you of more things to do. So don't treat it like you're being forced into something that you don't want to, or, oh, this is such an energy drain. Think about it as, I'm doing this thing once a week that's setting me up for the rest of the week to be in a better place. I am protecting my own health, my mental health, my emotional state, my hormone levels with my cortisol and my adrenaline. I am making a better place for me to be physically housed in my physical body, because this is physical reality. Make things safer and more cozy and more clean and hygienic, because it's good for you, because it helps you.